Hello everyone. This is the second part in my series about Moldavite tips for a positive experience. Last time we went over a little bit of background. We talked about using Moldavite in small incremental time periods at first. We also talked about approaching your journey with Moldavite from a positive perspective, as well as cleansing and grounding. So this week I'm going to talk about release, surrender, talk about journaling, also give you some tips on about shopping for Moldavite, specifically being aware of counterfeit or fake Moldavite. And I'm also going to give you a couple of tips with regard to mixing it up a bit. So I'm going to jump right into my list. So number 5 on the list, working with Moldavite is all about release. Release is a common theme when working with Moldavite. In order to experience, true transformation or ascension, what you need to do is to release old patterns, relationships, beliefs that no longer serve your higher purpose. This is all about expansion. So a lot of those things that no longer serve you need to come to the surface so that they can be released. At the end of the day, you have to face all facets of yourself and all of your experiences. You need to give yourself the gift of facing your fears, your past, and your pain. And in letting these issues come to the surface, what you do is you allow yourself the gift of being able to face them. And once you face them, acknowledge them, they are then released. And what this does is creates space. And in this space, you are creating unconditional love for yourself, and you're making room for your true self, who you really are, to come through. And that is the biggest gift you can give to yourself. One important thing, as all of these things are being released and falling away, one important thing to keep in mind is that anything that is released is going to be replaced with something so much better, much better than you can imagine. So it may seem like a bit much at first, but it is all for the better, and it's all for your highest good at the end of the day. So number 6 on the list is surrender. So the best way to approach all of this is just being at a complete state of allowing, to the point where you just completely surrender and allow the experience to flow with ease and comfort. Being in a state of resistance is uncomfortable, because essentially what you're doing is you are paddling upstream and you're fighting upstream. So if you just literally turn your boat around and just kind of flow down with the river, like lazy, flow down with the current of the experience, like you're riding on a lazy river, it just makes it so much more enjoyable. You don't want to paddle upstream. So number 6 is surrender. Number 7 is all about journaling. So especially with this experience, I consider journaling, it's like taking before and after pictures. It's a way that you can actually measure your progress. So what journaling I found really helps with is when you go back, synchronicities are much more apparent. You're actually able to see the amount of growth that you've had. And when it comes to journaling dreams and things like that, you'll find that, dreams that you thought were silly all of a sudden have a bigger meaning, to them, and new ideas will come to light. It's just really, really important that you journal, just so that you have, some sort of measure of where you've been and where you are. And that's just my opinion. So number 8 on the list is beware of counterfeit or fake Moldavite. Moldavite is rare. It's only believed that there are 275 tons scattered around the world. And because it's rare, a lot of people try to capitalize on that. It is expensive. So what you want to do is you want to purchase from, someone who is reputable, a reputable distributor. Moldavite, here's the piece right here. So Moldavite is, olive green. It can also have, you'd be so dark, like a dark like dark brownish color to it. It can also be, just regular green. But this is an olive green piece right here. So you'll also notice that it does have some etching in there, and it's not smooth. So it's like has a dull surface. It's not glassy looking, and it's not smooth. So if you find pieces I've seen pieces that look like, they look like Jello green. It looks like Jello, like bright green Jello. Or if you see pieces that actually have like a glassy finish to it, or maybe they're too uniform, then most likely that is not authentic Moldavite. Moldavite, with Moldavite, larger pieces are also very rare. So if you, run across a distributor who has, all they have are these large, huge, palm-sized pieces of Moldavite, and they're all in the same shape, then most likely it's not authentic Moldavite. Another thing you'll find with Moldavite is that when you hold it up to a light, it has a translucency to it. It becomes like a bright green, translucent color, like the title picture that I have. So just kind of be aware of that. Also, Moldavite only comes from the Bohemian region in the Czech Republic. It's not going to come from anywhere else. I've seen I've seen places claiming that they have Moldavite from China, or Moldavite that originated in Africa, or Moldavite that originated in Australia. Moldavite only comes from one area, and it will only be a variation of green. I've heard of white Moldavite. White Moldavite does not exist. If it's white, then it's not Moldavite. So that's just something that you want to kind of be on the lookout for. And last but not least, don't be afraid to mix it up. Moldavite works really well with other stones. It can actually amplify the energy of other stones, which makes it really great, especially if you're working with a smaller stone. So couple stones that I like to use are like just regular rose quartz, and what that will do is it actually gives it a softer energy. It just softens everything up, because for some, Moldavite can be a little bit too intense, so it'll definitely soften up that energy there. Let's see, Super 7 or Melody Stone is actually is amazing with Moldavite. This Melody Stone is known as the Stone of Ascension. Moldavite helps with ascension and transformation, so they work really, really well together. Another great stone that I like is tanzanite. This is a rough piece right here. Tanzanite works really, really well in conjunction with Moldavite, and it really helps with the mind and heart connection, so it's really great there. Another stone that's great, or crystal that's great, is pink damperite. I absolutely love pink damperite with Moldavite. It kind of adds a sweeter energy, and it also kind of adds a calmness to the experience. Damperite is excellent when it comes to stress relief, and adding a calmness to the experience. So I would definitely recommend Damberites. If you have a smaller piece of Moldavite, then Herkimer diamonds work really, really well to amplify the energy of the Moldavite. So those are just a couple of stones that I like to use. Again, use whatever resonates with you, whatever you're attracted to. There are tons of other stones you can use. Moldavite is also known as one of the Ascension 12 stones, so any of the stones on that list will work well with it also. But again, just use what resonates with you. So that is it for my list. I want to thank you all for joining me, and I hope that these tips that I've provided really help you along your journey with Moldavite. All right, thank you.